Okay, so Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think I've reviewed on the channel before, but like most first attempts, it sucked. Here we are. Now, first thing first, the sculpt work on this figure is great. New 3.0 body mold, which probably will be used for future Goku releases, and body type similar to his, and it's already been used for the Ultimate Gohan. But back to the sculpt work on this figure. I think the fur texturing on him is pretty good, but it could stand to be a bit more defined, which leads me to my next point. Paint. Even if the full fur sculpt is a softer sculpt, it could be brought to life with some type of dry brushing, and the same could be said for the pants. A decent to good paint job would make a mediocrely sculpted figure good, so imagine what it could do for a figure with a great sculpt. Besides that, my only minor complaint in terms of aesthetic is that the butterfly joint breaks the sculpt of the chest. But spoilers, it works pretty well, which brings us to
Head looks up
articulation.
that far. Head looks down that far. Side to side. 360-degree movement. If for whatever reason you wanted that, there you go. Arms go out better than 90 degrees. 360-degree rotation. Swivel at the top of the bicep. Double jointed elbow works fine. Wrist hinge is stiff and kind of minimal, and you get a nice swivel in the wrist. Butterfly joint allows his arms to go back like that. Butterfly joint allows him to pull his arms forward like this. He leans back that much, leans forward that much, tilt side to side, waist twist works like that. Perfect splits for the legs, kicks forward that far, kicks back almost none, swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee, ankle hinge, ankle rocker, and toe hinge all work fine. Tail is on ball with a hinge. For his hair, and yes, his hair can articulate. These pieces on his shoulder can move freely, and then this mullet on the back can move freely as well. So, there's that.
Now for accessories, starting off with the face plates. He comes with a cocky grinning face, a frowning face, a gritting teeth face, and last but not least, a yelling face. For Goku's hand accessories, he comes with 2 fist hands, 2 open palm hands, 2 grabby hands, 2 martial arts style pose hands, 2 instant transmission hands, and 2 Kamehameha hands, which you're allowed to plug in your next accessory, which is his Kamehameha times 10 energy effect accessory. And that's all. It's time to play Striker Pose! And here, first up, we have Goku looking like he's about to do a downward dragon fist. And this figure got into this pose with relatively little effort. Like, it wasn't hard at all to get him into this pose. The core articulation wasn't a problem. It was just great all around. Next up, we have this martial arts style pose, and I think this one by far came out the best. Out of all, since I've been doing this segment, this is probably the most one-to-one in terms of getting the pose right and the figure looking good while doing it. This was flawless. Great. As you can see, this figure is passing this test with flying colors. Up next, we have two poses that I kind of freestyled, you know? The one is Goku doing his iconic Kamehameha pose. And might I add, that butterfly joint makes it basically effortless for him to bring his arms across his chest. And, you know, that's what you want from your figure. You want to be able to recreate the action poses from the show or the manga, what have you. And this figure is just, it's no stranger to that. It can definitely recreate those epic poses. Now, is it perfect? No. Leg articulation, as you see earlier, isn't. It's great, but it could use some work. It can't go all legs can't go all the way back. But I digress. Moving on to the last pose I freestyled. For this pose, I just wanted something dynamic. You know, I wanted to make it seem like I caught a frame from the show where he's flying away and shooting energy blasts. And what can I say? It came out pretty good, you know? In all, this guy passes the flying. I mean, that's the flying. The strike a pose segment with flying colors. This is awesome.
For Goku's height, to the top of his head, he is about 6 inches. The top of his forehead, about 5.5. Now for size comparison, Kong Studios Vegito, Limit Breaker Jiren, Blue Gogeta, Revoltech Superman, Full Power Broly, and Spider. Now, should you get this figure? Absolutely. It's still at pretty much the exact same price that it was when it was released. In the video, I'll post some pictures or a little screen capture of the price ranges that you could expect. But until next time.